Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? NoZoupForYou here, and today I'm going to give you a review of the Tier 8 Italian aircraft carrier, Aquila. And you normally don't think about Italy when you think about aircraft carriers, but here we are, right? And you normally don't think about me reviewing aircraft carriers because I generally don't care for aircraft carriers that much, but I do make exceptions for them every now and then. I find myself enjoying a select few of them. You know, the Hornet is probably one of my favorite aircraft carriers in the game, and I do play it now and then when I div up, just because it offers a lot, and I actually do enjoy it. So I do enjoy aircraft carriers from time to time, and this is one that they sell it for 12,000 doubloons. I've seen it sitting there for a while. I had doubloons to spare, so I was thinking about plunking down those doubloons to purchase it, and then all of a sudden the pirate thing ended, and I had a bunch of leftover pirate tokens, and I used them for some crates. And out of those crates, I got lucky and got the Aquila. So I'm like, okay, I don't have to waste doubloons on that. So here I am with an Aquila and giving it a try. I'm actually enjoying it a lot. So my reviews with aircraft carriers are a little bit different. I don't quite do the deep dive that I do with other ships, just because most aircraft carriers are the same in many respects. I mean, you've got planes, you launch planes, you drop torpedoes, you fire rockets, or you drop bombs. Or skip bombs. I mean, they're pretty much the same from ship to ship. It's more about the feel of them and everything else, which is what I'll talk about with this. But I do enjoy this ship. So, Tier 8, kind of an odd tier because you can face Tier 10s, but generally, since Tier 10 has their own aircraft carriers, you get decent matchmaking. Every now and then you do wind up as the bottom tier, but more often than not, I have found that you do get a lot of those 7, 8, 9 matches, which are generally pretty conducive to this ship and how its aircraft handle. Hit points, you've got 51,100. Again, you probably don't care about that either way, because you're probably going to spend most of your time out of range of the enemy or hidden behind an island or doing whatever carriers do. The odd one or two of you out there might actually push in it, but that's just the way it is. I wouldn't expect you to, so you probably really don't care about the hit points and survivability of this. I do want to talk about the aircraft, though. It has 57 aircraft ready to go on its deck. You only have two types of aircraft. You have attack aircraft, and you've got torpedo bombers. And these attack aircraft carry armor-piercing rockets, so you've got AP on them. These planes are fast. They've got a top speed of 173 knots. They fire a ton of rockets. Maximum rocket damage, though, for a Citadel hit's only going to yield you 1,150, but each plane fires off 12 rockets. I think my maximum that I've done right now, on another enemy CV, I had 25 Citadels and knocked off, I don't know, over 25,000 health in one rocket salvo. So that is a lot right there, and you can do some serious damage on cruisers and on carriers and other light-skinned ships, even battleships. You might not get Citadels, but you're still going to knock off about 6,000 HP if you land them pretty good. So I really like the AP rockets on this thing. I mean, it's strong, very strong, and it's so many. You've got two attacking flights of 5 planes each, so you do the math. That's like almost 60 rockets flying at an enemy ship. So in theory, if all of them were AP hits or Citadel hits on an aircraft carrier, you could do 60,000 damage. I mean, it's a lot of rockets, an absolute lot of rockets. Coupled with the fact that some ships lose planes fairly quickly. I don't feel that this one does. The armor on these planes is pretty good when you boost all of that in your captain's skills. You got 26 aircraft on deck, so I mean they're stout. They've got good survivability. Next to your torpedo bombers, you have 6 per squadron in those. Attacking fleet with those is going to be, or attacking, you'll attack with 2 planes, so your survivability is not going to be as great on these because you got to circle around and do it again, but still the armor and everything else on these planes is pretty good, so I feel like they last. And these torpedoes actually do fairly good damage. Maximum damage of 7,133, so those 2 torps hit, you could do up to 14,000 damage, plus with flooding and everything else. So I am pleased with the power of these torpedoes. Maximum speed on these planes is going to be 173 knots as well. So that is them in a nutshell. You know, everything else, your AA defense, airstrike, I mean, it's not too worth going into those. It's pretty much similar to everything else. Max speed of the ship is going to be 30 knots, which, you know, again, you either care or you don't care. I mean, I'm not looking for a super fast ship when I play with a CV, because I'm not going to be pushing up right away. I care about the plane speeds, and these planes are very, very fast and enjoyable. So what do I think about this ship overall, and do I recommend it? Well, again, I know a lot of you probably hate aircraft carriers, so this is probably not going to be for you. But for those of you that do enjoy aircraft carriers, or just like collecting ships and premium ships, and you might have the doubloons laying around and wondering if you should pick it up, or you're wondering what to use your remaining pirate tokens on, or doubloons, or whatever the hell they're calling them. Yeah, this is a very good aircraft carrier in my opinion. It follows the footsteps of the Hornet, and while it might not be as good as the Hornet, it's very good in its own respects. And it is a highly enjoyable aircraft carrier in my opinion. I mean, you are able to drop the torpedoes pretty close to enemy ships, so it's very easy to get hits with those torpedoes. I mean, there's nothing odd about them. It's not a far drop. They move pretty quickly, so your torpedo bombers are very easy to use, very fun to use. And again, with the rockets, the AP rockets, those things are an absolute blast, no pun intended. I mean, you fire so many rockets that you're going to do damage either way. I haven't really used them a lot against destroyers for some reason. Just, it's weird, the opportunity has not arisen, but I've been using them a lot against cruisers, and it does a lot of damage against cruisers. You can do a lot of damage against them, and again, it's good at having that survivability so that when they do pop off their defensive fire, you do survive a little bit longer. Sometimes you can only get one drop or attack off and, you know, hit that F button, get your planes back, surviving planes. But again, there's no shortage of planes. I have not been deplaned yet, or I haven't been close to becoming deplaned. So that's another nice thing about this that you don't have to worry about. If you're not the best at protecting your planes, you've got a lot of them, and it's very, very hard to go through them all. So that is another nice benefit about this ship. Now this really doesn't pertain to gameplay, but it is a very nice looking ship. As with most of the Italian ships in this game, it just looks very, very nice. It has a more modern look to it with the superstructure, the smokestack. It's kind of sleek, and I gotta say I like the camouflage a lot as well. It's kind of like a modified Dazzle camouflage. Looks very cool though, and I mean, as far as aircraft carriers go, this is probably one of the better looking ones in the game. I mean, kind of looks like the Graf Zeppelin in some ways. So there is a lot to like with the Tier 8 Aquila. There's a lot more to like than there is to dislike, and really the only thing to dislike about it is it's an aircraft carrier. And if you don't like aircraft carriers, you're not going to like this ship. But if you do like aircraft carriers, if you do have the doubloons sitting around, just burning a hole in your pocket, and you're wondering what to use it on, again, this is 12,000 doubloons, and when you use a coupon, it's probably closer to 8,000 or 9,000. Do I think it's worth that price? This is one of the few ships lately that I do. If you are a fan of aircraft carriers, if you like aircraft carriers, I think it might be worth it for you. So I think it's an absolute fun ship to play. Out of all the aircraft carriers, I usually only play the Hornet. But lately, I find myself playing this one a lot and actually enjoying it. And not only enjoying it, but doing fairly well in it and racking up a lot of damage. So, definitely a ship to look at. Hope you all are doing great, and I will catch you all later. Zoop out.